Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, or simply information. Today, I would like to talk to a somebody and all of you about a serious topic. It's not just the movies we've seen. It's actually real and tangible. It's life for some of us that deal with stalkers, people who abuse you, in every which way possible. If they've been in your circle around you and or maybe they're currently doing it. Stalkers have a very interesting way and each one I'm sure is different, but movies out there such as Fatal Attraction and or Sleeping with the Enemy, Julia Roberts movie is sort of some of them, but stalkers I think are unique in their own way. I don't know if they all have mental illnesses and or addictions, but if you have that on top of all the other crazy mental health issues they have going on, it's a very dangerous game. Clinically, if you do some of the research, or maybe you've gotten some help wondering why people do this, the studying of all these strange behaviors. Sometimes maybe you've rejected them or you've walked away from their abuse. The predatory stalker misuses drugs, alcohol, and of course, maybe they have narcissistic tendencies along with that. They have a feeling of entitlement. They want you, and literally they say that if I can't have you, then nobody else can, right? Maybe you've heard that. Maybe you've watched a movie and they forced you to watch movies where it's like, wow, interesting. You didn't really put it all together, but unpacking and unfolding, living under the same roof of somebody that has multiple addictions, strange behaviors, and things that scare you. Of course, this is never healthy. You want to make sure you get away from these things as quickly as you can and make sure your affairs in order. And of course, you always want to make sure that you have an order of protection in place. It will help for as long as you have it. So I do recommend that you get one for the duration. Sometimes they have 50 years, depending upon the county that actually takes you serious. But I do know that there's people out there that believe in your safety, and there's people that can advocate for you, whether it's somebody writing an order or finding an attorney that can help you. Because you advocating for yourself with facts doesn't always matter. It's somebody that can advocate you to help you. And that I know is important. Asking for help. You'll never get away from these people. Even though you're not with them, they stalk you in ways you don't know. And it is classified as a disorder. So I don't know if it can be fixed. I have no clue. Certain things, if you've watched Oprah, a lot of her things with pedophiles and people in jail, their mental illness. And I personally was on a healing journey trying to help others that maybe were less fortunate, trying to figure out why can't they have a better life? And I was just told literally, honey, these people can't receive help. They're safer here to themselves. They're a menace to society. I'm not saying this about all stalkers, but sometimes think people are because their behavior and their instability, and maybe they have some depression and suicidal tendencies, and they are addicted to literally a lot of different things and that are unhealthy. Where does it come from? Well, we can timeline back and figure that out, but it's ultimately maybe their choice and maybe they're not. So if they've been taken over by addictions and or a multitude of other things that they have, allowed into their body, mind, and soul, and or if they dabble in the dark side, they're going to have a lot of crazy, crazy things happening to them. So, for instance, if you are keenly aware of these stalkers and maybe you've already had an order in place and things still happen, your phone has been tapped, and of course, they know exactly where they are, where you are, and they hide. So for me, they put things in your vehicle, and then when they're drunk, they let you know what brand was of it. They take things to your car, and your car has problems, right? And of course, because I'm talking about this will never go anywhere but the ethers. They know exactly where you go and who you receive services from. If you're at the hairdresser Or maybe you have friends that do a lot of different things. You visit family and friends, you go to work, what time you go to work. And they have a lot of people watching you at all times, 24/7, 365. The maintenance man probably needs some money for his kids at home. Maybe he's taking some money to put cameras in your home and do other crazy shit in your home, leave things. I mean, there's cameras and everything. Your phone gets turned on. The music on your phone gets turned on. Emails have been answered that you know you never answered. You may not even look at them. You didn't open them. So 1000% you know you didn't answer those. Important dates, maybe your phone calendar. Why is it there? Because that's supposed to make life easier, right? For me, it doesn't because somebody deletes it and or changes it. And I know 1000%, or actually more like 10,000,000% that happened to me. It happens to me all the time. You go to the bank, somebody knows that you've gone to the bank. You make a deposit, they know because they've hacked 1000% of every account you have. Even though you delete those emails or text streams or anything else in between, magically they're in place and maybe they're scrambled. A magical IT specialists that they've learned along the way. I've had lots of interesting conversations with mailmen, how people steal mail. Anybody in any profession can take some money. What is it, 10 at large, thrown on the altar for somebody to buy their peace? Well, what about yours? What about your peace? What about your life? Doesn't it matter? Well, I know mine does. I have a purpose. I have a family, and trying to keep them safe. You think, well, we'll just maybe text or communicate or meet in private areas, private places. No, they follow you everywhere. Why? A sadistic stalker is crazy. They're the most dangerous type because they're watching and their intent is to inflict harm on the victim, you. I don't like victim mode. I don't like the word itself. If you are a cancer victim, I feel sorry. Absolutely, you are a victim of something. Stalkers believe, and maybe they've had some abandonment wounds, and maybe you know that. But when you're adult, you know better, you do better. They don't like anybody paying attention to them, of course, but they're invading your space 1000%. They're in places that they shouldn't be. Your bank, they know people, and they seem to be easily manipulating others. Why? Maybe they dress up and show up. Maybe they have the right words. Maybe they come with some paperwork that they conjured up and had some shady attorney, give them. So they can, and they do have access to everything you own. And maybe they've drained all your accounts and think they're funny. There are cameras, and then when you point blank ask managers in these facilities, where's the tape on that, right? Can I review that, or do I need an order? And how do you know that? Well, I begin to just say, so how is so and so? And watch a reaction. Use your stalker's name if you know them. Sometimes famous people don't know their stalkers. They're so obsessed, like Selena, right? But she knew hers. There's a lot of famous people that have stalkers. Maybe they're not out to hurt them. They just admire them, want to be like them. You have lots of stalkers that want to be like you. Well, what's wrong with being like them, right? But it is scary, the fatal attraction that people have with you because their self identity is broken, compromised. But why do they harass you? Well, a lot of different ways. Maybe because they want to be with you. Maybe if they destroy all of your life, you're so broken, that's all you have left. Have you literally been told that? That people like you at your age always end up with me. Well, what the hell does that fucking mean? I would never end up with anybody. But if you have found yourself in these situations, maybe you've been drugged, yep, and abused on all fronts, and you didn't know what happened for hours. Well, that's classic, right? They do crazy things. I know in my personal calendar, there's been some weird, bizarre emojis along the years that I left, and it wasn't me. I don't even know what they mean, but it was attached to something specific in my calendar they weren't happy about. And if it happened again recently, well, and if they aren't here, or maybe they are pretending to be dead, who knows? Still from the ethers, they can taunt you, right? Because legally nobody would know where they are. Or maybe they do. These are all very interesting things. Document, screenshot, and send it somewhere else because they go in and delete it. My phone probably has been cloned so many times. So if you've received any messages from me and it sounds bizarre, they're trying to make you look crazy. Trust me, I'm 10 toes down solid as a day is long. Bring it. I can challenge you to anything. I'm of sound mind. They even get their attorneys to email you things that your memory is not clear. Now, isn't that profoundly bizarre? Talk about evidential paperwork for a court when it goes there. Print that shit off and send it somewhere. It's amazing what intelligent people do if they're on the dark side and on the enemy side. So just be careful. If you have a stalker, take pictures of everything. Take the plates. Make sure you have safety around you. If you don't feel safe, move. But it doesn't help. They find you. They're with you 24/7, 365. But God at large is always with me too. And whoever you believe in, if you have a purpose and you know what the hell you're supposed to be doing, and they still try and stop it, I guess you turn it over because God, for me, has a plan. And yes, maybe I haven't always been, a believer because of other things that have happened. Why do things have to happen that are so painful? Because it's lessons, it's your journey. Once you've learned the lessons, you're supposed to be able to move on. So karmically, these crazy bastards try and hold you hostage to things that maybe were painful in your life, right? They create events to make you feel unsafe. Well, when you walk with faith over fear and you have God in your heart, body, mind, and soul, your circle of trust begins to be smaller. And when people that you used to know approach you and or have conversations and or you know that they know somebody that you know, right? Follow the story. Ask them specifically by name how people are. What's their reaction? It is very interesting. Trust me, I know. So, who in the world can you trust? There's quite a few people I can. And if you meet somebody, they should be there for you. Even the law. Write letters. I have. And have facts. I have. Maybe they turned it out. Maybe they haven't. It's time for justice to be served on these crazy bastards. I no longer stand in fear because they haven't taken me out so far. Granted, they've tried. All of them. You by name. I know your association, where you live, not because I'm a stalker, because sometimes God has a different plan. Sometimes we see things we don't want to see. The unjust that you've done, the collaborations you've used against me. And it does hurt because you knew me personally. You did not make your own opinion of somebody, and maybe you did. And if you have addictions now because of somebody else, because you collaborated, and are things bad happening in your life now, karma plays out. So you have to meet your own maker someday and turn it over. Make amends and ask for forgiveness and say no to these son of a bitches. And yes, that was one of my dad's other favorites. I haven't used that one in a while, but since I had to visit out in the country a few days, it kind of reminded me of the simple things he said that mattered. Keep it simple. Keep life simple. And make sure you do things that matter and receive things that matter for heart, body, mind, and soul. A simple life, right? This crazy shit needs to stop. Stalking needs to stop. Harassing, bullying people, collaborations with the dark side need to stop because you yourself will have no quality of life if you continue on this path. Trust me, I know. Even inside of the place I live, shit happens that I know that's happening. And it's unjust. It's just disgusting. Why? Because people collaborate with people. And what do they say? Misery loves company. Some of you people out there could not be that miserable. How much money does it take to collaborate with these evil people? And why don't you stand up and say no to this shit? Horse shit, bullshit, everything, shit. Stand up. Are you a coward too? Well, maybe not. Maybe you just had fear of this person. Maybe he blackmailed you. Or she. There's crazy bastards everywhere. It's my favorite word for today, apparently, because Unjust is unjust is unjust. And I'm gonna keep talking about it even though YouTube will never publish this. It's out in the ethers. What I say is what I say. What I mean is what I mean. I can say things without being mean, not like you people. The damage you've done to so many people is hurtful. But karma is not out in simple ways. Sometimes God has a bigger plan for you. So you stand down and find your healing. It's not up to them, it's up to God. Or whoever he recruits. We all know people, right? Except for good people use people on the dark side. We use people on the light side so you find your healing. Whatever God has planned for you this year is to stop, so he did. And I turn it over and that's all. So today I wish you just end your problems, end your chaos. Anybody continue to harass and stalk me or anybody I know. You've already talked to everybody in your little private eyes and your little flying monkeys. I should say, well, we are. So anybody that's been stalked, harassed, tormented, and has their life uprooted, well, the next best thing is coming from me. I know that. And that's the plan. And a very special plan for you. Hopefully you'll find your healing. Or maybe you'll take your own life. I don't know. But whatever your demise is, it'll be something you continue to bring onto yourself. And then maybe you'll find your healing. Maybe that's the bigger purpose. So stand down to your crazy train. Start living the life you should have lived. Derailed. You decide to hurt everybody else. So I hope this helps today for everybody. Maybe feeling the energy, being into the areas you need of healing. If this never shows on YouTube because I am live, well, that's a shame. But whatever I put out in ethers energetically, it'll resonate with millions of people. If you are strong enough to speak up and do the right thing, I honor and cherish you and see the light in you because that is what's in with me. The flame never dies. The love in my heart for people that have been hurt never dies, or animals, people, places, and things that have been hurt over and over and over again through this lifetime and many, many other lifetimes. Maybe it's the same crazy people that try and do this. Enough. Stand down. It's time to heal and get over your ego. The material world. It's not what things are about. Granted, we all love it. It's all fun to take nice trips and have nice vehicles and things. Then don't destroy the things we've earned because of your jealous rage. Your inability to heal is what your problem is. So stand down. I'm calling all of you out, all of you who've been involved, your names, locations, your collaborations, how much at large money you've taken, drugs, alcohol, sex, and or anything else that you've done. This is all evil. It is. So stop the madness. You can do a lot of things by facing somebody saying, I'm sorry. It's magic, right? It doesn't mean we forget what you did, but own your own shit and be a good human being, a good citizen in this world, and do the right thing. Turn it over, right? That what they always say in AA or whatever the hell it is. All these programs that are supposed to help people, get in some, turn it over to somebody and make amends to those you've hurt. It matters. Your kids, their kids, anybody else's kids, your children will suffer because of this. Your family and friends, your coworkers. Trust me, I've heard so many things about past people in my life. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? Really makes you wonder. So today, everybody do the right thing. Stand up, stand down, whatever your position is. Stand up for yourself and stand down to the bullshit. Not doing it. Nobody needs to live like this, nor will I. I will keep putting this shit out there and see who feels it and finds the help. I will still, put these lives out there because it matters. because I've gone through a lot of things in life, scent of a woman, love some of the fine quotes in movies. It means something. Why? Because they've been somewhere and they know. I've walked in many, 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 many of your shoes, and I know. Do I talk about all the stories? No. As a teacher, mentor, guide, when you bring your story to me, I identify and I can help. So just remember for today, take care of you because you matter. Do the right thing, find your healing so you have quality of life and find the ultimate prize, love. Love is where it's at. Heal your heart in all aspects. It matters. Nothing quite compared to a healed heart. You see things differently. Maybe you have compassion and forgiveness for people who've caused you such unjust. So take care of you, and self care is not selfish. A lot of things we're told went through. So hope this helps today. Namaste.